Some of us don't really take the time to examine our behaviors, don't really take the time to examine our past, don't really take the time to examine how we handle certain situations or how we could handle ourselves better in that situation or what we could have done to avoid certain things from occurring, right? We never tend to, and I'm not saying for everybody, but a lot of us, we overlook examining our own life, our decisions that led to certain outcomes that were unfavorable, that were negative. We like to say it's everyone else, but not ourselves. We like to point the fingers at everyone else, point the fingers at situations, at the world, but we don't ever point the finger at ourselves. Because sometimes, accountability can be our kryptonite, and we don't want to hold that mirror to ourselves and be honest and say, you know what, this time it was on me. This time, my behavior, it sucked. My attitude, it sucked. The way I handled that situation, it sucked. Yeah. The way I treated that person in the past, it sucked. The way that I carried myself in that job interview, it sucked. The way I carry myself in life in general, it just sucks. Right? Take the time to examine how you behave, how your attitude can affect certain situations, how your behavior can affect other people around you. Examine where you're going and why you want to be where you want to be. Because that's the whole purpose of being alone for a season. That's the whole purpose of being isolated for a season, is to really examine your life. And not always pointing the finger at other people. And see, the problem with a lot of people is that they're so quick to look at what's wrong in other people. They're so quick to see the wrong in other people, but they never want to see the wrong in themselves. And that's unpopular to do that because we think we're always right. All right, innately, subconsciously, we think we're always right and everyone else is wrong. We can't behave like that. We cannot carry ourselves in that way. We need to learn how to fix ourselves, fix our behavior, our attitude first before we look at somebody else and judge their ways and judge their attitude. The whole time you're judging someone else's attitude and how the way they carry themselves, but you're no different. You're not some angel. You're not some perfect, sweet little angel that doesn't need any fixing, that doesn't need any improvement, that doesn't need an attitude adjustment. But you're so quick to condemn other people for their errors. You're very quick to judge others for their past mistakes and what's in their closet and what they did, how they did this and what they do. But do you do that to yourself? Do you take the beam at your own eye first before trying to take the beam out of other people's eye? Because first, you're supposed to remove the beam out of your eye if it's there. You're supposed to remove it yourself first before you go ahead and try to pick out beams out of other people's eyes. Because that's just doing things backwards, right? I don't know exactly how that verse goes in the Bible where it pertains to removing and taking out the beam out your own eye first before trying to take it out of someone else's eye. right? I got to look that scripture up. Hopefully someone can put that in the comment section. Let me know what it is, what scripture that is. But yeah, man, it's all about accountability. It's all about examining who you are now, who you were in the past, examining your decisions, examining your behavior patterns, examining your attitude, examining how you conduct yourself in situations, how you handle conflict. You know, I didn't always handle conflicts the best when it was confronted to me. I didn't always handle myself well in certain situations. It comes with time and practice. It comes with an attitude adjustment, right? It comes with just knowing what not to do anymore, not how not to act. And sometimes you learn that through others and what they did that was wrong and their mistakes, and you know better to not move that way on how others are moving. And you adjust yourself the right way. So you can't be quick. You cannot be quick to, look at the wrong in other people. Everybody's so quick to look at what's wrong in the world, what's wrong with society, what's wrong with the economy, what's wrong with the president, what's wrong with, the system. But are you constantly looking at what's wrong with you? No, you're not. Because you want to play the blame game and subconsciously be a victim, place yourself in victimhood. From ever looking at yourself in the mirror and doing an accountability check. We got to learn how to do that. An accountability check. Because if you continue to blame others, blame the world for why your life is the way it is, for why your life is not progressing the way you want it to, then you're going to forever be stuck. You're going to forever be stuck because you're being the victim. You're acting like a loser. Only losers blame other people. Only losers always point the finger at everyone else and not themselves. Because at the end of the day, we can't always control what happens to us, but we are in control in how we respond to what happens to us. We are responsible for how we carry ourselves after that situation occurred and how we deal with certain things going forward. We are responsible. We are in control in where we're going in life. So sometimes it's not about, where you come from. It's about where you're going. And you have to examine where you're going and why you want to go to that place. Examine the person you were and where you came from, your past. How did your past mold and shape into the person you are now and where you're going? Right? So when it comes to the world, when it comes to other people, if you have not examined yourself, if you have not cleansed yourself of your own faults, your own iniquities in life, you have no right to judge others of their own sin or their own iniquity. You have no right to point fingers. You have no right to, look at the fault in others, right? If you did not clear or clean out your closet, all your skeletons, then how can you judge someone else of their skeletons in their closet if you have not cleaned your closet first? That doesn't make any sense, And so that's just holding yourself accountable at the end of the day and admitting to yourself that you're moving sloppy, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Your life is not progressing because you're just not moving quick enough, or you're just not taking action at all. So you can't even get mad when you see the next person win, when you see the next person doing better than you, because guess what? They're moving quicker. All right? They're taking action every single day. They're not making excuses for themselves like you are. Only losers are going to make excuses for themselves. Only losers are going to play the blame game and play victimhood. All right? And trying to point out everybody's faults, trying to point out everybody's weaknesses, and, always try to judge others based off what they're doing. But they never look at themselves. And a lot of trolls on social media, they do this a lot. They're so quick to point out what's wrong with everyone else, but when it comes to themselves, they're quiet. When it comes to who they are and their actions and their behaviors in life and their attitude, they're shut quiet because they don't want to talk about who they are now, because they don't like themselves. That's just the reality. They don't really like themselves. But some people are delusional enough to think they don't need any fixing. They don't need to fix or adjust their behavior. Some people are delusional like that, to where they don't think anything is wrong with them. They don't got to do no fixing. They don't got to do no type of adjustment. They don't have to examine their self, right? And that can become a problem. So let this video, be like a lesson, a teaching moment for a lot of you to, do the work of examining yourself, examine where you're going, examine why you want to go where you want to go to, your behavior, your attitude, how you conduct yourself. Do all those things, right? Practice accountability. Stop focusing too much on what wrong people are doing. What's wrong in the world? We know what's wrong in the world. The question is, what's wrong with you right now? What is wrong in your life right now? Fix what's wrong in your life first before you start trying to fix what's wrong in the world. With that being said, make sure y'all smash the like button for the algorithm so that more people can see this video. Subscribe for more transparent content. I'm out, and salute.